Another one, another licensed game based on an animated... I've done this before. Damn it. No more. Please. Surf's Up for the Wii. No, I haven't seen the film. Nor do I really want to or care about it. Although every time I see this picture, I just want to watch Happy Feet again. So, with no comparisons to the film, let's see how this Surfing Penguin game holds up.
I really don't think this game has a story despite it being a movie-based game. The only elements of a plot is snippets of SPEN, an ESPN parody featuring a walrus, detailing the surfing championship. And me not having seen the film, I don't know whether or not this takes place before, during, or after the film itself. So I guess that's a bonus in some regard, it not being tied down to the movie and trying to adapt elements of its plot into a game. So without any plot, the game focuses on its main attraction, surfing penguins. And I'm okay with that, and I feel good about myself about not having seen the film. So what we have is a bare bones framework reminiscent of an early Tony Hawk's game and its derivatives. So yeah, moving on. I mentioned in the open season review that I tend to avoid Wii parts of licensed games due to developers wanting to map every control possible to the motion gimmick. I take some of that back because that's a prejudiced way of thinking, plus it's a gamble of whether or not they actually do. In Surf's Up's case, I lucked out because not only do you use the nunchuck for movement and convenient buttons for tricks, but there is only one, and I'll repeat that, one mapped motion control for the speed boost. So yay for restraint, but, and there is always a but, if I had a penny for every time I activated the damn thing when I didn't want to, I'd have £1.60 free. The speed boost itself is used to break through barriers and to catch up and get away from the encroaching wave, which will wipe you out and respawn you further up the path, so it's best to keep ahead by performing tricks. The tricks are performed by mashing A or holding the B button. Doing so will grant points and increase your boost meter. Getting a full boost meter will allow you to enter Stoke mode, where pressing the C button will pull off the ultimate tricks for higher points. This would put you in a catch-22 situation, choosing between mad tricks and not drowning, but as long as you keep riding the wave and flipping the board, the wave won't be a problem. What is a problem is the wiping out itself. I mentioned the wave, but that's nothing compared to the obstacles. Icebergs, rock pillars, piers of bamboo, all on your forward path. Obviously, you should avoid them, I hear you mutter, but the collision detection is a joke, and what would seem like a minor scrape or nudge is treated like going to the emergency room for a paper cut. Worse is when the game fails to notice the collision, and you go through the obstacle, only to wipe out once you pass through. Not a game-breaking bug, but it's a bug nonetheless. Now it seems simple and easy, but it took a while for it to click with me, and when it did, I was speeding through the competition and getting the score necessary to unlock the next race and so on. Yes, each race has objectives, the qualifying score, passing through gates, and the max score. You also grab collectibles along the way, such as score multipliers, instant stoke, and little statues. The problem is that you need to keep doing tricks to gain speed so you can steer away from the wave to collect the collectibles and pass through gates, but every time you do a trick you'll fly right past these gates and collectibles, and without the speed boost you can't veer away from the wave, so you'll always have to come back to it to pull the tricks to get to the gate and the multipliers that you will possibly miss because you have the speed boost to pull the tricks to end the stoke to fail the trick. So if you're a completionist, you'll be repeating these stages quite often. But you don't really need to do them other than the initial qualifying objective, which is what I did to get through this game. There's also leaf sliding, which is not a major part of the game, but it's there and it's boring. Imagine playing Sonic Riders with less technicality and no tricks. Well, at least compared to Free Riders, it's at least playable. Oh, I almost forgot about the penguins themselves. You can choose whatever penguin or rooster as your rider and select your surfboard. Each surfer and board has various stats, and customization is key if you want the best for each competition, be it speed, turn-in, or stoke. There's also cosmetic customization, but I didn't use it. I mean, a flower in the hair is nice and all, but what good will it do other than increase my self-esteem? To repeat the same tired phrase, "The Wii is not as powerful as its competitors." But games like Sonic Colors and Super Mario Galaxy proved that tired phrase wrong. The game actually looks decent. Yeah, 90% of the screen is seawater, but it's good looking seawater. The various locations capture the theme of the island. Even the cold tundra felt chilly under its Starfield skybox. The use of colours really do shine here, and unlike Open Season, it doesn't make me want to fall asleep. It's bright, colourful, and dark and gloomy when it needs to be. The character models are great too. The commentating walrus has great animation. I was almost fooled to believe it was pre-rendered. But the in-game characters and other objects don't look as good. But it's passable, as you'll be more focused on the wave and pulling tricks. The music is either love it or hate it. Instead of original tracks, the game features songs from popular artists and bands like Simple Plan. Songs I can't play here because... yeah, that. Nevertheless, I thought it fitted the game perfectly and was right on with the action. But then there's the case with the voices. Look, I get it. A bit of commentary here and there is fine, and certain quotes fit specific situations. But chaos damn it, these creatures repeat themselves so much, you'll be screaming the phrase, "Shut the f*** up," just as much as they open their flippin' beaks. One thing I hate when it comes to Wii games or those with a cursor is when I select something, select it! I don't want to have to click on the same thing twice to confirm it. This isn't a PC, you know. Either one click or have a confirm icon for me to click elsewhere. I thought the game crashed when I selected my penguin. No confirmation text appeared until I thought to click it again. Mild annoyance I know, but still an annoyance. The whole game is pretty basic and it's a clear case of what you see is what you get. Though there are multiple locations to surf in, it's just the same levels with a different coat of paint and the geometry move around a bit. The bulk of the game is based around an island with several stages for each location. As I mentioned, there are 3 objectives for each stage: the qualifying score, which is necessary to unlock the next stage, passing through gates, and the max score. Each objective gives you a medal, or a shell I guess, to unlock the next stage in that location and then the next location. I also mentioned collectibles, and yes, each race, I know it's not technically called a race, but it might as well be called that, have 5 to 10 surfing statues to collect. Collecting them, as well as acquiring the medals from completing the tasks in each race, unlock new customization options, surfboards, and riders. Oh god, it's Elliot from Open Season. Either I'm going mad or these movies are starting to blur into each other. Sad part is he's one of the best characters to play as, so... yeah. Like I said, it's pretty cut and dry as far as the game is concerned. Race to gather medals and statues from all races, riders, and boards. Aside from a few unlockable leaf sliding stages and the legendary wave, there isn't much to unlock as you near completion. The final stage itself is a chore to do. Not because of the high score needed, not because of the terraforming course,
but because the other server could knock you off your board. Apparently it's a feature in this game now, when you boost, you can wipe them out. Guess what? I never noticed this because it never happened before. Not to me or to another surfer before the stage. And believe me, I wish I could show you, but the footage I captured became corrupted and unusable. But believe me, it took me 20 tries to beat the stage. 20. 2-0. What's worse is how often this douche queen will hit you. I'm in the air doing a stoke move. He hit me. I respawn. 2 seconds later, he hits me again. I respawn in front of a barrier, but guess what? I can't break through it because I don't have boost to break through, so wipe out again. But apparently the next day I managed to beat the stage in one go. Why does that kind of thing happen to me? I rage quit and a few days later I beat it in one go. Like this newfound skill just accumulates and... whatever.
While there is fun to be had, sadly Surf's Up doesn't hold much in the end. The gameplay gets repetitive after a few levels. Even though it starts entertaining as you speed across the water getting the highest score possible, the waning boredom soon sets in. The pretty visuals and unlockables help the game, but it's too little to balance out with the rest. The game is thankfully short, about an hour or so if you're not going for 100% completion, but it lacks the content and variety to really make it stand out. Though it's not bad for something based off a movie. I rate this game 4 out of 10.